The words hit me like a sucker punch to the gut, sharp and merciless. "My man of honor is going to be Alex," Claire announced, her voice steady, almost rehearsed. "And if you have a problem with that, then maybe there won't be a wedding." The room tilted. My breath caught somewhere in my throat, jagged and hot, as if the air itself had turned into shards of glass. Alex. My ex. The man who had broken me in ways I thought I'd buried long ago. The man I'd avoided for years, whose shadow still lingered in the corners of my worst nightmares. I laughed at first, short, disbelieving, ugly. "You're joking." Claire's expression didn't flinch. Her eyes, a pale green the first used to drown in, hardened like glass. "I'm not." That was the moment something in me cracked. The woman I was supposed to marry, the one I trusted with every fragile part of myself, was standing there choosing him. My thoughts raced, colliding and breaking apart before I could catch one. Was this a test? A cruel prank? Some twisted idea of closure? My heart pounded, each beat hammering at the inside of my skull. "Why?" I whispered, and my voice didn't sound like mine. Claire exhaled slowly, as though she'd been waiting for this confrontation. "Because he's important to me. Because he knows me in ways no one else does. Because I want him standing beside me on the most important day of my life." "He knows you." My laugh came out strangled, bitter. "He's my ex, Claire. My ex who..." My words cut off like they'd been yanked away. The memories rushed up like bile, the fights, the betrayal, the silent nights that hollowed me out. "Do you even hear yourself?" "I do," she said quietly. "And if you can't accept it, maybe we're not meant to be." Her calmness was worse than anger. Anger I could fight against. This detached certainty gutted me. That night I couldn't sleep. The sheets felt foreign, the room too silent except for the whirlpool of thoughts dragging me under. How long had she been talking to him? How long had Alex slithered back into her life, and mine, without me noticing? Every text she'd hidden with a quick screen flip, every late-night planning session with her bridesmaids, every sudden burst of laughter when I walked into the room, my mind twisted them into new shapes, each one cutting deeper. The next morning, I asked her straight out, unable to stomach the silence anymore. "How long have you been talking to him?" Her spoon clinked against the mug as she stirred her coffee. She didn't look at me. "A few months." The words dropped like stones into the pit of my stomach. "A few months," I repeated. My voice trembled, not from weakness but from the sheer effort of keeping myself from exploding. "And you didn't think to mention it?" "I didn't want to upset you," she said. "You didn't want to upset me." I slammed my hand against the table, rattling the dishes. "Claire, you've been sneaking around, bringing him back into our lives without telling me, and now you're threatening to blow up our wedding if I don't smile and nod." Finally, she looked up, and her eyes burned with something I couldn't read: defiance, guilt, a mixture of both. "I love you," she said, "but Alex is a part of my story too. And I won't erase that." Her words coiled around me like a snake, suffocating. Love. Was that love? Or was it something darker, selfish, poisoned? Days blurred together in a haze of doubt and half-answers. Every time I looked at her, I saw the cracks spreading wider. She'd smile, kiss me, talk about flower arrangements, but all I heard was Alex. All I saw was his face leering at me from across the aisle, daring me to object. One night, I couldn't take it anymore. I found myself outside Alex's apartment. My fist hovered at his door, shaking, my chest a battlefield of rage and desperation. I wanted to scream at him, to demand why he couldn't just stay gone. But when the door finally opened, he looked at me with a smirk I remembered too well. "I was wondering when you'd show up," he said, leaning casually against the frame. "What the hell are you doing?" My voice was sharp, but beneath it was the trembling of a man on the edge. "Helping Claire," he said smoothly. "She asked me to be there for her. And I said yes. Simple as that." "Helping Claire." I spat the words. "Or helping yourself?" He shrugged, the arrogance rolling off him like smoke. "Maybe both." Something in me snapped then. My hand curled into a fist, ready to erase that smugness from his face. But I didn't. I couldn't. Because hitting him wouldn't change what mattered, the fact that Claire had let him back in. When I got home, she was waiting for me, her eyes red, her makeup smudged. You went to see him, she said flatly. I didn't deny it. Why him, Claire? Why would you do this to us? Her voice broke then, her mask finally slipping. Because I never really let him go, she admitted. And if I can't have both of you standing by me at the altar, then maybe I don't want to do this at all. The silence that followed was unbearable, thick with the sound of my world collapsing. I walked out. I didn't pack. I didn't slam the door. I just left, my heart dragging behind me like a corpse. Weeks later, I heard she went through with the wedding. Only not with me. Alex stood at the altar, not as her man of honor, but as her groom. And as I stood outside the church, watching through the stained glass, I realized the truth that nearly split me in two. She hadn't chosen between us at all. She'd been choosing him all along. And I'd been nothing more than the placeholder she needed until he was ready to step back in.